Hey, how are you?
Hello,
Good
Jayson.
morning.
Uh, Good morning out there. Good afternoon. And
I I cannot hear you so good. You're breaking up a little bit.
okay, uh, is it
Now
clear?
it's better. Now it's
Aw-
good.
Awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our dear listeners, welcome to the brand new episode of season two for 2021. First off, I'd like to wish all of you happy New Year 2021. May this year be filled with a lot of opportunities, peace, happiness in your life. For the first episode of the season two, I have a special guest joining in from Paris, France. He's a formal chef, again, great human being. Without any delay, um, I like to welcome him again in the show, and thank you so much for accepting this offer, Chef, to talk in my podcast, and hopefully uh, we could dive deep into the subject matter of happiness, and also we are planning to talk a little bit about financial freedom and things like that. How you been, Jayson?
I've been great, man. Thank you for the intro. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you for having me on the show. And yes, I would like to tell all of my listeners Happy New Year. I wish you guys all the best, great success, health, wealth, and happiness. Very important. And yeah, I've been great, man, since the last time we spoke in when we was in New York. I'm just living and doing the best I can to reach my goals and make my dreams come true.
Awesome, awesome. Before we dig deeper into it, why don't you offer a little background of yours, your childhood, how it was, and what do you have done in your career, and where are you right now in terms of life, career, your personal aspirations, and everything.
Okay, okay. Well, I was born in South America, French Guyana. I don't know if you guys are familiar with French Guyana, but it's a little country of about 200,000 um, people living there, about 200,000. So it's a small country right over Brazil. I was born there, grew up there, went to primary school. Then my family decided to move because life there was not so great. Like you couldn't evolve. It was a too small country to evolve and really grow. So we moved and went to. I completed high school in the Caribbean, St. Martin's. Then right after high school, I went to meet up with my family in New York because in the meanwhile they moved to New York and started living there. So when I got to New York, I was pretty young still. I was just out of lycée, what they call high school in the U.S. And
Mm-hmm.
when I got to New York, the school system was too slow for me, and I had this passion for cooking all the time. M- my passion was always food and combat sports. Those two were always my passion growing up. I used to always watch combat sports and watch my mother cook in the kitchen and my father cook. Because also when I was a child in French Guyana, they had a restaurant called Ram's Roti Shop because my last name is Ram. So
Mm-hmm.
the shop would be called Ram's Roti Shop. And I used to see my parents cook in the kitchen and create some stuff. And it was always uh, a passion in my life to cook and be in restaurants. So when I got to New York, since I was a young age and the school system was really, really slow, and since I came from a French school, in New York, they put me way back in behind waiting my documents from the French system because they said, oh, if we don't have your documents, we cannot put you in the proper grade. We have to put you back, etc., etc. So with that being said, while they were waiting on my documents, I said, well, you know what? Instead of just sitting here and waiting on documents to arrive from the French school system, why don't I just use my cooking skills that I've learned already in the Caribbean and go find a job in a restaurant in New York? So I was pretty young at the moment. I was just out of my 2 year cooking school in St. Martin's. So I said, you know what? I have enough skills to start something and launch. So I went to restaurants. I was actually about 17 or 18 years old at the moment. So
Wow.
so I went to look for a job in restaurants in Manhattan, in New York City, and I got hired. And from then, I've worked in various restaurants and climbed my way up to a very high level in the restaurant industry in New York. So I've started working in restaurants at the age of 15 in the Caribbean. Got to New York around 18, 19, and continue working in restaurants in New York since then. And like I said, cooking was my passion, so I climbed the ladder really fast. And each time I would change a job, I would focus on learning more. Like some people say, if you have uh, if you have a resume and you have too many jobs on your resume, people would say, "Oh, you're not stable. You cannot hold a job." But I look at that situation differently because my resume has a lot of restaurants, and that's just because I moved around because I wanted to learn more. Because if you stay too long in one place, you limit your growth. That's my
Mm-hmm.
that's my personal point of view. If you stay too long in one place, you're gonna learn everything that place has to offer, and then you're not gonna grow anymore because you've learned everything. So you're just gonna do the same thing over and over. So if you wanna keep growing in life, and I think this goes for everything in life, if you wanna keep growing, you should change spots and change restaurants, like I did. Basically change restaurants and go learn something new, learn from new chefs, learn a different style of cooking. And needless to say, now I have 20 something years in the business, and I know how to make dishes from any country, from and I know how to cook almost every kind of meat, almost every kind of fish, almost every kind of vegetables, and I can really say that proudly. And now I am confident to walk in any type of restaurants in Paris and get a job and cook and have a cooking showdown with any chefs. I'm confident to do that now. So I embrace my years in New York working as a chef, and yeah, that's what I advise people: keep moving forward always in life.
Sure. I think we worked 10 years ago, or even earlier. I think it was 12 years back in 2008, and you were already a chef
Yes.
back then, private party chef. So I could only imagine, another 12 years, how far you have already grown. I haven't got a chance to catch up on that perspective, but hopefully we could talk a little bit about that as well in this episode. That said, Chef Jason, when I got Chef Jason now. Do you remember? I always try to sort of, give a little overview about the podcast to some of the first-time listeners. We tend to talk about what makes us happy. What's the secret for well-being, happiness? Is it connected with money? Things like that. I think I've always mentioned that we cannot have a one expert figure who is gonna give us a key to unlock our personal happiness, because we all have to figure that out for ourselves, right?
Yes.
Hopefully through our conversation and through personal experiences, I think we can add some value to the listeners and to our community. That said, let me start with a favorite childhood memory of yours. It looks like you had two C somehow very close to your life, right? You have combat and cooking,
Yes.
right, chef?
Yes.
And talk to us about a little bit about when about the combat aspect as well. Like, how did you get into it? And if you could
Oh,
add
yes.
one of your favorite childhood memory, like any memory, like while we are talking right now, can you think of one particular memory that makes you really happy?
Well, yeah, one memory that makes me really happy is when I was a child, I was always excited, very excited to go visit my grandma. My grandma is the is one of the is the idol in my life. Every time, because she used to live in British Guyana, which they call Georgetown, and we used to take the plane from French Guiana to British Guiana, like each school vacation to go see her, and those was actually the best memories because she used to live in the countryside. She still lives there, still at the same house, the same area. She still lived there till today. So
Wow.
we used to go visit her in the countryside, and I love climbing trees because when you're a little boy, you love those things, climbing trees. Because back then we didn't have iPhones, we didn't have a lot of the stuff that kids have today, which is great, I think. Because today, I think these technology is taken away from the youth's growth, anyways. So back then,
Yeah.
since we didn't have iPhones and all this technology, I used to love to climb the trees and climb the mango trees, the guava trees, the starapple and stuff like that. And she had all these trees in her backyard, and she had chickens and ducks and etc. The real country backyard. So that was my greatest pleasure. When my mom would say, "Okay, you guys have a school vacation coming up. We're gonna go see grandma," I used to be so happy. Until today, when I decide when I have some time and I'm going to see grandma, even today, I'm happy because when I go there, I can just relax. First of all, the weather is beautiful, it's hot all the
Mhm.
time. The river
So,
is,
so we're talking about French Guyana right now, or the British
we're
Guyana?
talking
You
about
said.
British Guyana, where my grandma lives.
How far is it?
Is
Just
is next to, well, the Guyanas, you have three of
from
them.
French
From
Guyana.
French Guyana on the plane is like 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not that far.
Yeah.
So now her house and the place she lives is like 100 meter away from a little creek, and then it takes you like 5 minute walk or 10 minute walk to the beach, and the weather is so beautiful. You would lay down in the on the porch and take the fresh breeze, and you would see iguanas running by. You would see
Wow.
parrots flying by, and it's just a beautiful tropical place. So that's my favorite childhood memory. Now, speaking about combat, since I was a child growing up, I was always a small person, a small breed. I was always smaller than the average kid. I was always the little skinny kid growing up. And in school, I would get bullied a lot. Now, since since
Mm-hmm.
since I have an older sister, when I was in school, she's 2 years older than me, so she would defend me once in a while because the other kids would bully me. Oh, the little Jason, bully me and push me around because I was always so little. Now, my idol, one of the person I really looked up to on TV when I was growing up, and at that time the top actors was Jean-Claude Van Damme. I'm pretty sure I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you guys know who Jean-Claude Van Damme is, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. We're all crazy about it.
exactly. So he
Yeah.
was my favorite hero on TV. Him and Arnold Schwarzenegger in Conan the Barbarian. Conan the Barbarian was one of my favorite movies, and I used to idol these guys because they were so strong and powerful and muscular. And I was the complete opposite. I was a little child, skinny, always being picked on, always weak. And I was like, man, I want to become like them. I want to be like them. So when I was watching the Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, I used to see him do all these trainings in the yard and stuff like that. So I would be in my room trying to do the same stuff, and I guess that builds up some kind of confidence for yourself. Then when I was 10 years old, my mother put me into a karate school, and that's where I started
Mm-hmm.
learning combat sports. And from then I got hooked on it. I went from karate school, then I went to kickboxing school. Then, as the year goes by, I went to full contact school, then Brazilian Jiu Jitsu in New York. Then I went to mixed martial arts school, and that's when I became really the person I am today. Because not only it develops you physically, but it develops you mentally and spiritually as well. Combat sports, some people might look at it as barbaric, as wild and savage, but there's a real discipline in the combat sports that you cannot understand unless you really do it. and that's when you could understand how it helps you grow spiritually and mentally. And that's really important in your growth in everyday life. Now,
Wow.
now talking about personal.
Which level are you in right now? I mean, you have done so many different combat sports already. Uh, are you like? Is there a level
Well,
you are? You know, like you're pursuing it as a like side by side thing to for your personal growth. You still?
yes, well, I got up to the level of brown belt in karate, and then I went when I did full contact. I went also until the brown belt. Then in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, I went as far as the blue belt, and that's it. After that, I did mixed martial arts. So we all know mixed martial arts is when you combine all the different kind of combat into one style, and you use your knees, your elbows, etc. So it's everything put together.
I think I remember you having like some sort of iron, like heavy iron disc or something on your leg, right?
Yes,
Back
yes,
then.
yes. When we used to work together, I used to put on that thing on my
Yeah,
leg to get more energy in my kicks. Yeah, yeah.
awesome. You also reminded me of I also I am a relatively small frame guy. You know, I'm getting a little chubby nowadays, but when I was a kid, I was also very small, and I also wanted to do this combat, some sort of martial art,
Yeah.
right? And there was one government school where one of the teacher, he taught some of the students in the neighborhood, and I always used to go there and see him training those guys, those
Okay.
kids from the boundary, and I used to come home and I used to try to do these martial arts. And I always asked my mother if I could join in one of the school, but she was too protective. She thought that I would break my bones or
Yeah.
something. She never allowed me to get into it. But when I came to New York, I did taekwondo for 3 months, and I also did sparring, and
Oh, that's
that
that's
was
great.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, great moment. I think that was about the same time we used to work together. But I broke my hand while working at the restaurant, so that's the stopping
Oh,
point.
okay. Yeah, that happens. That happens. Um, Now about the happiness. Like, I think happiness. Not everybody has the same view on happiness. Like different stuff make different people happy. Like me personally.
Let me stop you there, and let me ask you this: what is the most important thing for you in your life right now?
The most important thing for me in my life right now.
Yes, or some of the most.
Okay, I would say
Or
my main objective right now is to make my family financially free. Make my mother financially free so that she doesn't have to go to work. My grandmother as well, so that she doesn't have to worry about income. And my brothers and sisters, like help them grow, help them develop their business so that financially they're okay today and in the future. That's my main goal right now.
Mhm. Um, is there any defining time in your life? Was there a defining time, or is there just like what we talked? We went back a little bit about your favorite memory,
Yes.
right? Is there? Can you share with us, if it's okay, one of the challenging situations you have come across, and did you get to overcome it, or are you still working on it, and how it is related to, if it is related to your present state of
Okay,
mind?
well, situations I've been through. One of the tough situations I've been through, and I've been in it a few times, and that's what made me started looking at different ways to make money. So, like I used to work in restaurants in New York, and I realized no matter how much money I made working in restaurants, I would always have financial difficulties at the end of the month, or especially during Christmas time. I don't know how it worked this way, how life worked out itself to be this way. through years after years after years, I would have financial difficulty during Christmas time, and I would be limited to what I wanted to do. Like sometimes I wanted to take a trip and go spend Christmas with this person from the family, but I couldn't do it. Or I wanted to buy this for
Mm-hmm.
myself or buy this for somebody else, and I couldn't do it. And that would make me think like I'm working and making good money because I used to make a good amount of money in New York, and I'm managing the money the best way I can, but still I'm finding myself in financial difficulties. So there must be something wrong. Either I'm spending too much, or either I'm not making enough. So to me, I told myself, um, since this is happening years after years after years, the same thing is happening. Only I can change this. Only I can change this about myself. So I need to change the formula of my life. I need to change the things that I do every day. And I was looking at all of my friends and all the people around me, and they were in the same situation. People getting up in the morning, going to work, coming back home. At the end of the month, they're paying bills, and we only have 2 days off. And at the end of the day, we're tired. We don't have enough time to spend with our families. We don't have enough time to spend with our loved ones, and we don't have enough time for ourselves because we're at a job all the time. And we're at a job all the time. And even though we're at a job so many hours, we're still finding financial difficulties. So there must be something wrong in the formula somewhere. So that's when I started looking at investing, because I had some friends in the investment world, and they were telling me, "Oh, you should invest in the stock market. It's gonna help you. You should invest in this, invest in that." So I started paying attention more to it, the stock market and the forex market, and then the cryptocurrencies came out a long time after Bitcoin got introduced to the world. And when that happened, I said, you know what? Let me start looking at investment and see what I can do in the trading world. So I started trading with a demo account, and I started taking classes, took a few courses from some people from Wall Street, and see what I can do. And when I saw the potential of it, I was like, wow, that's great. And when also a turning point is when my mom was in London and my grandmother was in British Guyana, where she lived. And my grandmother, at her age, she was over 60 years old at the moment, and she was still working. And I'm like, why is grandma going to work? Because one day she fell down and hurt her leg, and and my mother told me, oh, your grandma's sick, she fell down and hurt her leg, she cannot work. I'm like, why is she still working at this age? Like, what's going on? And her job at the moment, she used to sell products to people. She used to walk and catch the bus for miles and miles to go to people's house to sell shampoo or sell soap or sell, you know, products, everyday products, right? Hair products, skin products, whatever. So that was her job, and her country is really, really, really hot. So since she had to walk and take the buses, she's always in the sun. And I'm like, why is grandma working so hard? Like, she should not be working so hard. And since I'm the oldest male in the family, and I found it that it's my place to start taking care of my grandma and my mother, etc., etc., and lead the way for my younger siblings. Because if I do not show the example for my younger siblings, they might fall into the wrong path and follow the wrong path, and then they're gonna fail in life, and it is gonna be part my fault as well if they fail, right? So this was the turning point for me, where I said, you know what? I do not want grandma to work hard anymore. As a matter of fact, I don't want her to work, period, anymore. I don't want my mother to have to work for people anymore, because my mother's in London now and she is getting out of her job because she invested a few years ago with me. And I said, I don't want my younger brothers and sisters to have to be going through this slave society that I went through. Like, it's all good to be called a chef. You're a 5-star chef. You work in a top restaurant, but at the end of the day, you're killing yourself. You're killing your health, and you have no time for yourself. So you're dying faster, and that's not good. I think health is the number one priority over everything, because your life is more important than a six-figure job. So why kill yourself in a six-figure job and trading in all your time that you can keep to take care of yourself? Instead of that, you're trading it at a job, you know. So that was a turning
Yep.
point for me.
Wow. Yes. So how long, again, to our listeners, give you a little overview of what Jason is doing. He's gonna explain it to us now. He's really also into trading, and he has decided for himself years ago. He has just mentioned it, to take care of his family, take care of mother and grandmother, and show the path to their siblings. He got into trading. Give us the overview of, after you decided to be financially free, what it took for you to get into trading and all the stuff you are doing right now to achieve the financial
Okay,
freedom.
so in trading, I started looking at it from friends and YouTube, which was basically about 7 years ago in New York, 7 or 8 years ago. So I started to learn a little bit about trading, practice on my own, and I thought I could learn to trade on YouTube. So I was looking at YouTube videos and I was trying. But then I realized that I would make money for like 1 week, then lose money for 2 weeks, then make money for one more week, then lose money for 2 weeks. So it wasn't balanced. I was losing more than I was making. So I said, hey, I need to get the proper education, because trading is just like basically a doctor or an architect. You need the proper education in order to be profitable on a consistent basis. So then I was looking for courses and online universities to go to and learning how to trade. But at that time of my life, there wasn't the opportunities we have today, like the one I am in today. That wasn't available. Uh,
You were doing all of this while you were
yes, while I
working
was
full
working
time.
full time in
Yes.
restaurants, I would trade.
So that thing about financial freedom was directly related to your personal
Exactly,
happiness, right?
exactly,
And you wanted to find a solution. You didn't want it to, even though you were a great chef, you didn't want it to trade all those
exactly,
hours, hurting yourself, not taking care of your body, not taking care of the people
exactly.
around you, and you wanted to find a smart way. I think that smart way is not easily taught in our society, right? People, we have to look for
Yes,
it, right?
I
And
did
you
it.
did it yourself. First, you did it through YouTube. You lost money, but because practically it looks like you were just using a little bit of your intuition. That's what you were
Exactly,
thinking back then, and all the YouTube. But you needed
exactly,
actual skill.
exactly.
Yes. When was the transition point for you to get into the field of acquiring actual
The
skill
turning
set?
point for me is when I came out of work one day and it was a Friday. I got my paycheck and I saw that I made my salary, which at the moment I was getting paid $800 a week. So I got my paycheck after the whole week was $800, and I went to see my friend who was trading, and I was with him for like 1 hour talking and having a drink, and during that 1 hour he made $5,000 during 1 hour. So I said, hey,
Mhm.
I'm in the wrong field. I need to be trading. Because then, if I'm trading, I have more time for myself and more time and more money for myself, and I'm going to be a happier person. I'm going to get to rest more, work out more time with my loved ones. So that was the turning point right there. So when that happened, I went all in and I said, listen, even if I have a job right now and I'm depending on my job, my why is very strong, and my why was my mother, my grandma, and my siblings, right? So then I started focusing. Remember, when you have goals, you have to go after your goals 150%. Even if I had a job, I would come home and learn the charts, learn how to trade, put in 2 or 3 hours a day learning this skill set, right? And I got better.
Mhm.
I started making money as I learned a strategy, started making money, right? And
So did you ask your friend to show it to you? Like, how
so
did that all happen? Like, how how did you? So after YouTube, what you did? You joined a
So after
university. What
YouTube,
you
I
did?
joined a university called IML. IML is iMarkets Live. Right now, they're still solid. They're still going good. So I joined IML. I traded with them a little while. I took some classes with them, and then IML had a problem with their software for a little while, and they had problem with payouts because I used to get residual income, which is very important. Residual income is very good. So IML had some problems. Then they shut down for a little while. So I left them. Then they got back up and kept going, but I was already gone from IML. So I went on to other things. So I moved from agencies online to agencies to find a good
Mm-hmm.
one. And today I'm with a good agency. But throughout all the years where I went from agencies to agencies, I've learned something from each one of them. And it's just
Did you do the or do you did you find it out for yourself? Was it all because of your search, or did you take help from somebody else in the
well
initial
in the
phase?
initial phase, the industry.
Because you saw your buddy making a lot of money working an
Yeah,
hour or two a day, right? While you were
exactly.
busting ass working full time, right? And you were already, I think, you were that thing was already
Exactly.
cooking in your mind to, and I think that was the time when you realized it for yourself that you gotta do it, and then you joined the university, and you that stopped, and you went from
Exactly.
agency, right? Was somebody there back then to guide you through the
Uh,
process? Because we're learning a lot
well,
from your
to
story right
guide
now,
me through the process,
right?
no, I didn't have one person to guide me. I was
Besides you.
relying on social media and people I would meet on social media who would say, "Hey, I'm trading with this company. You should try it out. We offer this, we offer that, and you can learn this and that." So when I go to sign up to that university, I learn whatever they had to teach me, and then when I see that I'm not doing so good, I'm not happy with that place, or they cost too much maybe, or the group might be a group of wolves. I don't know. I would be I would be like, no, this
Yeah.
university is not for me. I'm gonna change, and trading is like
Yeah.
in the restaurant business. You change restaurants and you learn more. So same thing happened in the trading world. I changed universities back and forth, and I learned more as I change. Now I'm with a university that's very well founded. We have residual income coming in, which is really good because as you build your team grows, you get residual income. They're called Epic Trading, and they have all the tools for people who wants to learn how to trade, for beginners to learn how to trade within a month. So all that work I did for 4, 5, 6 years, learning how to trade, finding the right strategy, etc., people can come today and learn all those things within a month and learn how to trade. And since I have a deep background in trading, I am today actually a trading coach. I have students that I coach and I teach them the do's and the don'ts in the trading world. And I've shaped them in order to become profitable traders on a consistent basis. That's what I do today. And that's how I am making a living today, from trading and from my team growing.
Little, little backstory for our listeners, if you're listening right now. The I connected with Jayson because I saw him really active in the trading world. Even though I'm in the path of finding like well-being and everything, all of us have a responsibility to support for ourselves. Um, Even if we do hobbies, yoga or meditation, or for people, some of us might like traveling, things we like, for us to be able to sustain it. And some of us already had a family, kids. For us to be able to sustain what we really want to do in our life, we need financial. We need to be sustainable financially as well. So that thing has also synced in my mind after I returned back to New York and leaving whatever I was doing back there. I was just connecting with Jason and wanted to learn a little bit about what he was doing, and I really thought what he has to offer to me has a big broader value to some of the listeners who want to build their life out of out of constraints, out of the financial constraints they have. So that's the little backstory behind one of the backstory behind why Jason is speaking with us right now. So let me move into this particular sector subject matter for today. So what can any listener who is listening right now, Jason, can do to set himself or herself set him or her really strong for trading? What's like? Can you break it down into one, two, three,
Into
four,
learning
five
how to
steps?
trade. Yes. Well, the first step,
Trade and like how they can connect with you.
well,
Like
to
yes.
connect with me is easy. I'm on Facebook. My name is Jayson Ram, or I'm on Instagram. My name is Jay Gets Rich Money Man on Instagram. And I'm gonna give you my links to you, Mr. Sandeep, and you could share it with whoever you need. So
I'm gonna leave your info on the podcast description for anybody who's
Perfect.
listening right now. And
So
yes, go ahead.
now, if you want to enter the trading world and make extra money for yourself, easy. You need to get in contact with me. We get you registered in the company. The company, of course, it's a paid company because they teach you how to make thousands and thousands a week. Okay, so of course it's going to be a membership fee. To register is $134.99. Once you register, you get access to your own back office, and you can get access to the classes that's in the back office. Now there's videos with tutorials and strategies that you can learn, and also they give you a tool called an indicator. The indicator is a tool that you can download on your phone on your trading app, and the indicator tells you where to buy, where to sell, what currencies. Also, the company gives you signals. They send you a message on your phone each time there's a trade set up. Like if they see that you can buy Euro USD or sell Euro USD, they send you a message saying buy or sell and where to close the trade. And all you do is copy the information from that message and paste it on your trading application and open a trade and walk away. And then also you get live trading sessions every day with the 7-figure trading coach. So these people trade their own account on a live webinar chat, okay? And you're in there with them. You could see them, talk to them, ask questions, and the same trades they take, you can take those same trades on your account and make real money. Now, with this being said,
Awesome.
people who don't have any background of trading come in, and within a week, they know how to take trades, they know how to follow the millionaire traders, and they know how to grow an account. Within a week, they understand how it works. Now, the strategy.
So pretty much they can sort of follow the guidelines and have like real strategy versus the one that you took in your initial days, right? Based upon whims. If one trades based upon whims, chances of success are not that great. Yes. But if we get guidance and mentorships from people who are already doing it, I think there is some chance of success for ones,
There's a higher chance of success nowadays because the stuff that are available to people nowadays, I didn't had it before. I had to struggle with YouTube and trying to learn myself. Now today,
Jason, after we register to that particular university,
yes.
You said, is the contents, are they accessible?
Yes, the contents are accessible 24 hours a day because when you register with a company, you get your own back office, and in the back office, whenever you log in at your own time, you have access to these courses and classes. So it's anytime you're ready on your own time, you log into your back office and you take a class. But the live trading sessions are on a schedule.
Because there is also this, we have to talk about this briefly, right? There is also this sense of doubt people have, because with this, online thing, a lot of peoples are offering free money, free investing, things like that. So some people fall into that trap.
Well,
What if this is a
well,
scam, or what if this is fake? Can you
yes,
clarify a
of
little bit
course.
about how authentic this particular university, this particular process is, and what could be the
Well,
potential
in
drawbacks?
this university, I'm gonna take it one step back and say why people get scammed. And I got scammed a lot of times, and that's why I could speak on it. People get scammed sometimes because they give money to people for people to grow their money for them, right? Like for example, somebody might come to you and say, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
I could turn your $500 into 3,000 in 2 days," and we will give them 500, and thinking they're traders, and then they disappear. That's how people get scammed. Now, with this university, it's just
Mm-hmm.
like any other universities or the gym or whatever. You pay for your education. Now, if you don't go to the class, you won't learn anything, so you're paying for nothing. Now, if that's the case, it's not really a scam, it's the fault of the person paying if they don't take the class. Because it's like going to the gym. If you sign up to the gym and you don't go to the gym, you won't get muscles. Then you cannot say that the gym is a scam. You see what I'm saying? Then it's
Sure.
the fault of the person who's not
Mm-hmm.
going. So it's the same thing here. The university, you're paying for the classes, you're paying for the education, and if people take it seriously, they're gonna succeed. Because everybody who is in this program, who are taking it seriously, are seeing major income. I have one friend who started making $50,000 each month. After 2 months, he joined. After just 2 months, he upgraded to the level that he's making $50,000, and it's not only him; it's a handful of them that are doing those results.
Are you happy with your own
My
personal
personal
growth as
growth,
well?
I'm happy with it. I wish I knew this university back then when I started. I am very happy with the way things are working with them, and my team is doing great. So yes, so this university, you pay for the education, and when you start trading, first of all, when you practice on a demo account which has fake money in it, because we know that when you practice, you're gonna
Okay.
lose some money. So we rather make you practice on a demo account with fake money.
So the practicing can be done with the fake money, but
Exactly, in
in
the
the
real
real
market,
market.
real life market
So it's gonna be like, let's suppose I get some fake money to invest on Bitcoin right now, right? So if it goes up, then I know that my intuitions, whatever
exactly,
my decisions are right. But we're
exactly.
using
And
fake money
then
at first, right?
when you see that you
Yeah. Okay.
understand the strategy and you understand how to trade, that's when you put real money in a trading account. And remember, this trading account is yours with your password, your login, etc. So nobody can take this money. This is your money that you put in a trading account, and you trade it yourself now to make real profits with the same system.
Well, do you know about the legal aspect of it, in context to uh, can anybody from around the world can get into it if they paid, or are there
Well,
any
as far as
restrictions?
I know,
How
there's no restrictions with trading and epic trading. There might be some restrictions on the
Okay.
broker you choose to have your trading account, but there's so many brokers. There's
Okay.
brokers in on the African continent. There's brokers in Japan, in China, everywhere in the world. Some brokers might not be available to some people in other parts of the world, but each part of the world have their own brokers. So it's okay to have. Go
And
ahead.
you sorry to interrupt you. Usually we have to go through somebody to get into it, to set up a mentor first. Is that
Yeah, the
the
recommended
recommended
way is
way?
to get in contact with a person like me, for example, to get you.
So let's suppose if I want to get in, I have to contact you again. Then you
Exactly.
will show
You
me the
contact
way.
me. I
Maybe
exactly,
provide me the link. Then I get into where
exactly.
Forex
So
University.
you will contact me.
What's the difference? What is Epic and Forex?
Well,
Epic
Forex
Trading and
is
Forex
foreign
University.
exchange market. Forex is foreign exchange, and stock is
Yeah.
stocks. So Forex is the type of trading we
Okay.
do. Epic University is the university that teaches you how to trade Forex.
All right. So we are getting into Epic University
Exactly.
to learn
That's
about
exactly
Forex.
it. So if
Yes.
somebody wants to learn, they get in contact with me. I send them a link. They register.
Do you also do? I'm sorry, Jason. Do you also do any other
Yes, we
tradings
do
besides
forex
forex?
trading, crypto trading, and binary trading.
Okay, so it looks like I need to have you in another episode as well if our listeners are,
That's fine with
show
me.
some
That's
interest.
completely fine with
Okay.
me.
Yeah, yeah, but Bitcoin for the listeners in Nepal, the Bitcoin is illegal
Oh
as
yeah.
of now in Nepal. But for other part of the world, like in Australia, Germany, United States, obviously it's legal. So, but this episode we are focusing on forex, and it looks like forex is absolutely legal any part, everywhere in the globe, especially in context to Nepal. I think it's legal as well. We can do a little more research on it, and I can provide the updates to the listeners if they are into it. Yes, Jason, you were saying something. Sorry, I
So yeah, well,
interrupted you in the middle.
to get registered, anyone would need to contact me. I would send you a link, and then through that link, the person go and get registered. And when they're registered, then I become their mentor, and I show them, I explain to them which application to download, how to set up their chart, how to take a trade, etc., etc. And I give them all the links to all the group chats and all the important stuff. And after that, they would have their own back office, and if they want to log into a live trading session, they could log into the live trading session at the time that the person is doing it, and they would take trades with that person. And when I have new people join the program, I add them into my group with myself, and I give them one-on-one training 3 times a week. So 3 times a week, if the person need a one-on-one training, I do that with them. So they have a live mentor with them, helping them understand and everything. So it's a really good program for people who wants to grow.
Absolutely, and yeah, for our listeners, Jason is a great human being already.
Thank you.
Like he was ready to help out people before even we decided to have him in the show. He was very open about the knowledge and information he has, and I think it also comes from people who has a humble beginning, right, Jason? They are all share and support because they know how it feels to go through some of the struggles in our life, and I think that's the beauty of human being. We find
In helping
value,
each other.
in sharing and helping. I think that also enriches our being,
that
right?
yes.
Yeah. So this was a little backdrop for guys who were thinking, oh, maybe I can reach him, or if they have any doubts, he's really really accessible. So if you have any questions, I think he's gonna be okay showing you guys the way, what he learned the hard way over the period of like 8 to 10 years. Chef Jason, we are about the end of our episode. I want to ask you the final question for this episode. Any personal advice on this? Is like a tradition. I've been asking all my guest speakers to share from their point of view one thing you think people, and especially young listeners, should get into right away, and one thing they should get out of.
One thing you should get out of the small mindset. You guys, if you want to succeed in life and have ultimate happiness and achieve your ultimate goals, you got to get out of the little mindset that you have, the traditional mindset, and stop not believing yourself. I need everybody to start believing in themselves. First of all, have faith in yourself. Have faith in your dreams. Remember that affirmations are gonna make all your dreams come true. And if you could get out of the rat race and the daily routines, because the daily routines is gonna stop you from achieving your final goal. If your goal is to have $1 million, you can do that, and I have programs that can make you do that in 4 years. $1 million in 4 years. But you need to believe in yourself and have an open mind all the time, and don't stay in your box. Come out of your comfort zone is very important. Come out of that comfort zone, go and meet the world, meet people, be open-minded, be friendly, and meet as much as people as you can, because somebody you're going to meet in your life is going to be able to help you. And life is not all about what you know. It's about also who you know, because maybe a person you know is going to lead you to that door that you can open, and that door has all the answers you need in order to get your happiness. So stop doing the
Mm-hmm.
everyday routine, working for somebody else, and launch your own business. If it's something that you love to do that thing and launch your own business. But I push for investing, and investing in the cryptocurrency, investing in yourself as well, and that's it. Stop working for somebody else. That's not the way to go.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. That's so great. Uh, Glad we got to have you
Thank you, thank
on
you.
our show, and I hope our listeners also enjoy our talk. And hopefully, we could have you in our future show, and especially we could focus our segments on the growth of how we could help a lot of people get into this trading, and all, at least make
Exactly,
them literate, right? And
exactly.
then they can decide for themselves if they want to get into it or not. But not having the tools and not
Of
knowing
course.
things, I think it limits us. After we know it, then we can decide it for ourselves. Is that the thing we want to do, or is
Exactly,
that the thing we
exactly.
don't want to do, right? So it's going to be a great starting point, and I thank you very much
You're
for
very welcome, sir. The
speaking
pleasure
with
is
us
mine.
today.
I thank you for having me on the show. It was a pleasure talking to you guys, and I hope I brought value to somebody out there who needs it. And feel free to contact me. Feel free to reach out, and I'm open 24/7 to anybody who needs answers on any questions, guys.
Thank you so much once again, and thank you so much, listeners. We catch you. We uh, we will see you again in